to let go of any unnecessary tension in the body. Softening the groins and just feeling the contact between the base of the body and the floor. Continue to let go with each next breath out, surrendering to the gravity, allowing the gravity to pull you down from the inside. And then as you slowly begin to press the tips of the fingers down and also begin to feel the upward force from the ground up, the sucking up action in the palms of the hands, in the armpits and the ribs. So you can see that the upward force is balancing the downward force, coming to a position of ease. And then from the openness of the chest, place your hands in front of you, roots of your thumbs against the chest, fingers slightly away from the chest wall. Feel the light touch between the hands, that one is not more aggressive than the other, but be sensitive to how the palms touch. As you close the eyes from top to bottom, looking away from the thinking brain down towards the heart center. And just taking a few breaths through the center of the chest. So coming from thinking mode to feeling and just being in the present moment. Relax the face and all the facial muscles. Widen the space between the eyebrows. Soften the eyelids, let the eyes move back away from the eyelids. Relax the jaws, the tongue, the throat. And then after your next breath in, we'll do the 3 Oms together in your own time. And as you exhale, move the head down again, surrendering the brain to the heart. Release the hands to your thighs and listen to the resonance of silence. And as you breathe in, lift the head up and open the eyes. And stretch the legs forward, crossing the other way. And just a couple of stretches sitting cross-legged. Take your arms forward, interlocking the fingers. Palms away, spreading the skin of the palms from the center out. And as you breathe in, stretch the arms up. And you can bend the elbows out, bring your hands close to the head as you do. Roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades in. Take your hands back more and then slowly begin to straighten the arms, extending through the inner hands, mounts of the index fingers, and go lifting as high as you can through the arms. And breathing, soft, smooth breaths through the nose. And as you breathe out and releasing, just feeling the resonance of what you've done. And once more, as you inhale, stretch the arms forward and looking the other way. Palms away, spreading the skin of the palms from the center out. As you inhale, stretch the arms up. Yeah, and again, bend the elbows out, bring your hands close to the head. Roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades in. Take your hands back more and then slowly begin to straighten the arms by extending, lengthening through the inner hands, mounting the index fingers. Gripping the outer upper arms in towards one another and lengthening up high, breathing. And as you exhale, then take your arms back down, again just feeling how you are after that. And then going to your side, taking your right hand down, left arm up and over, and we'll just stay on the side. Bring the weight down through your left buttock, and lengthen from the outer left hip all the way through the tips of the fingers. Bottom shoulder back and down, bottom ribs are looking at the ceiling, and you can look up. And then inhale, come up. And as you exhale, go to your left side, pressing your right buttock down, lengthen from the outer right hip all the way up. Bottom shoulder back and down, bottom ribs are looking at the ceiling. And breathe, soft, smooth breaths through the nose. And then inhaling, come back up. As you press the fingers down on the sides, lengthen to the front, and now return. So as you exhale, take your left hand to the inside of the left knee first, right fingers behind. Inhaling, creating space in the chest, and as you exhale, turning more to your right side. So inhaling, lifting, exhale, turn. Take your hand to the outside from the other leg, then as you inhale, making more space, and as you exhale, turning more. Lifting and turning. And breathing in, coming back to center. Press the fingers down, lengthen through the front body as you exhale, turning to your left side. Right hand to the inside of the right leg. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, turn. Lifting and turning. Take your hand to the outside of the other leg. Breathing in, making space in the spine. And as you breathe out, turn more to your side. And still feel that the weight is even on both buttocks. And then breathing in, coming back to center. And have a break. Or something like that height. And lifting, and we're going to turn first to the right side. So your navel is looking at your right knee. Lifting and turning. And then support yourself with your right tips of the fingers. And then lengthening diagonally forward through your left arm. Taking the head down onto some support. Then taking the other arm forward too. So it's a diagonal kind of, it's a twist and then it's a forward bend. And pressing your left buttock down and lengthening along the left side of the waist. That's where I want you to feel it, the left side of the waist. And then as you inhale, coming back to center. Press the fingers down, lengthening through the front, and as you exhale, turning to your left side. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turn. Once the navel is really looking at your left knee, support yourself with your left fingers, have the brick in place, and then lengthening to your right arm diagonally. Take your forehead down on some support, and pressing your right buttock down. And feel the stretch along the right side of the waist now. Right side of the waist. And as you inhale, then come back to center. And stretch the legs forward, crossing the other way. And we will just come forward now, having the brick in front of you. As you inhale, stretch the arms forward and up, lengthening the sides of the body. And then with that, come forward, go halfway, extending through the tips of the fingers, keeping the heaviness down through the buttocks, and then take your hands down, pulling the fingers towards you as you lengthen through the front body, and then sliding the hands forward more and taking the head down. So as you breathe out, let go of any tension in the hips. As you inhale, see if you can feel that dynamic of still lengthening the spine forward. As you breathe out, letting go. As you breathe in, still extending somewhat. And as you inhale, then come back to center. And stretch the legs forward. And one more time, cross the other way. And one more time, coming forward, stretch the arms forward, up to the ceiling. Now have the palms facing forward. So you can feel the difference, stretch. And then from there, come forward halfway, extend through the tips of the fingers. Be heavy in the buttocks. And then take your hands down, pulling the fingers towards you to lengthen through the chest. And from there, take your hands forward and head down. I apologize. My phone is always on silent, just not now. And then as you inhale, coming back to center. And stretch the legs forward. And we are going to sit in Vajrasana. Where is my bolster? Let me bring my bolster just a moment. Okay, so have a belt, have a bolster. And it's the one you love or not. That's good for you, good for your feet, very good for your feet. All right, so we are going to have the belt around the ankles. Yeah. So they are quite tight. I have like a little bit of movement there, not much, just a little bit, maybe half a centimeter. And then, so first I'm gonna have the feet or the metatarsus on top of the bolster. Yeah, so your feet are not terribly overstretched yet. And just sitting there for a moment, feeling how that is. And from there, you can let yourself come forward so that the toes are right on top of the bolster. That's a bit more challenging. Yeah, and see if you can more and more just allow yourself to sit down on your feet. So at the start, the tendency is for the body to move forward, but just let yourself sit with it. Yeah, it won't last forever, but it's good for you. And then from there, again, stretching the arms forward, interlocking the fingers, palms away. As you inhale, stretch the arms up, lengthening the sides of the body, breathing. And as you exhale, then releasing. And maybe coming forward a little bit more. Yeah, so getting a bit more extension. So now the metatarsus are hanging forward of the bolster. Yeah, so I don't know if I now maybe sit sideways, you can see. Yeah, so the feet are kind of on the front edge of the bolster. Yeah, so you can really feel it in your feet. And then again, stretching the arms forward, interlock the other way, arms away, and as you inhale, stretch the arms up, lengthening the sides of the body as high as you can, breathing. And as you exhale, you can release. And now you can shift forward again off the bolster and just be on the floor. And if you've got a long belt like me, then you can also use the belt for Gomukhasana if you need it. So what I mean is that if it's long enough, you can put the belt around your right shoulder in case you need it. You may not. So again, sitting heavily on your feet. As you inhale, stretch your right arm forward up to the ceiling, lengthening. And then bend the elbow, take your hand to your spine. Extend up to the elbow, take it back more. And then stretching your left arm out, palm back, bend the elbow behind, back. And then catching your fingers over the belt and pulling evenly with the fingers, evenly. And now you're still even on your feet. A few more breaths. Stay there. And as you exhale, then you can release and just feeling how you are. Then if you need the belt, have it ready on the other shoulder. And then stretching your left arm forwards up to the ceiling, extending, lengthening up through the arm. Bend the elbow, keep extending the upper arm up, taking the elbow back past your ear. And then stretch your right arm up to the side, palm back, bend the elbow behind your back. And then catching again either the belt or the fingers. And just breathing, stay for a few breaths. And as you breathe out, then you can release. And I think we'll come out of that now, not to be torturing you too much. So you can sit sideways and taking the belt off your feet. And now we're going to just sit on a block for Virasana. So a few more shoulder stretches. Just in Virasana. So feet are by the sides of the block. The block is width-based. If you need more blocks, then you have a couple if you need to. But you will feel that you are more even on your feet now. The debate is more on the inner edges of the feet, which is the way it should be. Yeah, so it will feel easier to sit like this. You can move, see the way I'm catching hold the skin of the inner knee and lifting it up. So it's a good thing because the knees want to turn inwards. Yeah, so if you free the skin of the inner knees, that will help the knees to be more even. All right, and from there, stretch the arms forward with your right arm on the bottom, giving yourself a big hug first for Gomukhasana. Then take your forearms up, pressing the hands against each other. Take your elbows up slightly, hands away from the face, press them together, roll the shoulders. So allow the shoulder blades to slide out to the sides. Yes, you're extending from the shoulders forward to the elbows, and then letting the shoulder blades slide out to the sides. You're broadening the upper back, and at the same time, can you take the floating ribs back? And breathe and stay. And as you exhale, then you can release. Good. The other side, stretch your arms forward with your left arm on the bottom, giving yourself a hug. Walking the fingers towards each other at the back. Take your forearms up, take your hands against each other, elbows up slightly, hands away from the face, and then lengthening from the shoulders forward to the elbow. And at the same time, feel how the shoulder blades go out away from each other. So there is broadness in the upper back, and at the same time, the floating ribs are moving back. Yeah, so you're kind of slightly rounding the back, broadening. And then you can release. And we do Parshvana Namaskar. So now stretching both arms out to the side. Turn your palms back, bend the elbows behind your back. And then with the fingers pointing up, trying to get the hands as high as you can along the spine. Palms face each other. And then as you roll the shoulders back, broaden the collarbones from center to side, shoulders back, getting all the mounts of the fingers together. Breathing. So the little finger sides press against the spine, and also the spine presses against the fingers. Elbows go back, and there's a smile in the collarbones. And as you exhale, then you can release. Release the arms. As you inhale, stretch the arms forward and up. Lengthen the sides of the body, and then we turn now. So take a breath in as you turn, as you exhale, turning to your right side. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning, lift and turn. Take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. Right hand behind you, either to the floor or the corner of the block. Inhaling, making space. Exhaling, turning more. And just see that you are heavy on your left bottom with your left lift. And then breathing in, coming back to center. And for the other side, stretch the arms forward and up, lengthening the sides. And as you exhale, turning to your left side. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, turn. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning more. Take your right hand to the outside of the left thigh. Left hand behind you to the corner of the block. As you breathe in, making space in the front. And as you breathe out, turning more to the left side. Lift and turn. And as you inhale, come back to center. And I want you to take a break behind you between the hands. So, yeah, so still sitting in Vinyasa. But you're going to take a break and see if you can squeeze it. Squeeze it. And first pull down. And then see if you take your hands away from the back. Yes, that's the kind of movement that you need before you come forward with the upper body. So it's usually tricky, isn't it? So let's see, can you squeeze the brick first? Taking it away from the body, roll the shoulders back. And just breathe and stay for a moment. And as you breathe out, then you can release. It's not as easy as it looks. And so then coming forward if you can. So you're going to interlock the fingers, stretching down through the arms, rolling the shoulders back, and then coming forward from the hips, trying to keep the hips down, and then arms up and over, but see that the wrists are close together, and the arms are straight. If they are not straight, then you first need to work with that break. Then see arms up and over, if you can keep them straight. If not, then first you need to strengthen the tricep muscles. Yeah, Marianne, so I would be upright if I was you and just squeezing the outer upper arms in towards each other. And trying to get the movement down through the arms and then away from you. And then breathing in, coming back to center. All right, and then you're going to interlock the fingers behind you the other way, stretching down through the arm. So first that action of, so that the shoulders, see that the shoulders are moving back and down, yeah? So that action, and if that's not happening, if you're doing this, then you first have to work on that before you go, because when you go forward, it's more difficult. Then you really kind of, once you start to do that, then it's not really useful. Yeah, so stretch the arms down, squeeze your outer upper arms in towards one another, and then see, can you bring your hands away from you? And then with that, see if you can come forwards, gripping the outer upper arms in towards one another. Stretch up through the arms. Bring them overhead if you can. Yes, just going to your own ability, working where you're at. And if you find this difficult, work with that brick or even a block. Have something wider. If you still can't squeeze in with the brick, then have something wider so you can squeeze it. You know what I mean? And then as you inhale, coming back to center. Undo. Well done. And you can come out. And just coming into Adho Mukha Svanasana to stretch the legs, just stretch, open the feet again. So pressing the hands down evenly, especially the inner hands, pulling up the knees, lifting the buttocks high, and pushing the thighs back. And the feet hopefully will feel different, more balanced. So it'll be easier for you to take the outer feet down. And just feeling how you are as you are warming up. All right, and then as you exhale, you can bend the knees and come down. And get yourself a block. So one of the foam ones if you have. We're just going to simply lie down on the back. Having the block just underneath the sacrum with legs. Yeah? And then you stretch the legs, keep them slightly apart, but extending through the heels. And you're on the center of each foot, and then stretching the arms up and overhead, extending through the tips of the fingers and through your heels at the same time. So it's an action of gentle action where the tailbone is moving in and you feel there is an openness in the groin area. So it's preparing you for back bending poses. Make sure the block is in the right place, not in the lumbar, but it's lower down in the sacrum. And just be as tall as you can be and just feel what the block is teaching you. Feel the openness in the groins. And then as you inhale, take your arms back up and back to your sides. Bend your knees, roll to your sides. Have a quick look. So now you're going to have the block hard. So it's, if I show you like this, so just in line with the lower tips of the shoulder blades. There. Yes, the top of the block. Just catching the lower tips of the shoulder blades. And then same thing. Straightening the legs, Uttanasana. But also feeling what it was like when you had the block underneath the sacrum, so your tailbone is moving into the body as you stretch the arms up and bringing them overhead. So now you open the chest a bit more. So you don't want to overarch the lower back, but you want to grip your hips towards each other and still feel that openness in the groin area. Extend through your heels and extend through the tips of the fingers. And just stay for a moment, breathe. Good. And then take your arms back up, back to your sides. Bend your knees, roll to your side. And now give yourself a break. And this can be this way. Yeah. You see? So it's like that. We're gonna do the same thing, but now a little bit more height. So the brick is just again underneath, just catching the tips of the shoulder blades, straighten the legs, and arms up and overhead. If it's too much for your neck, then you could have something underneath the head. So don't let the head go back too much, and the head should be touching the floor. All right, and then bring your arms back up and back to your side. Bend your knees and carefully come up. So now we are going to Iyengar. 2 breaks. So if you can, this is too much, I'll just remind you of the other variation. So knees together, feet are by the sides of the hips, moving the flesh of the calves from the knees back to your feet as you sit. And then when you go back, you want 1 break in that area between the shoulder blades and the other underneath the head. So that's where you want the opening. And then you're going to move the arms out and over a few times. And then seeking to break down and move over. Okay. If this is too much, if you can't, then you have the legs close flat and you have the bricks a bit lower. Yeah, like this. You can do it with your legs closed, and just when you do it like this, making sure that the first break only goes as far as the 7th cervical vertebrae, not all the way to the neck. Then the other block underneath the head. Same thing, but just a little less intense. See if you can, the more you can let go and just not fight that break, the deeper you will be able to get to. All right, well done. Then bring your arms back up, back to your side. And if you, yes, so did we do the less height for the head? If you haven't, then do taking the head back a little bit more. If you're done, then you can come out. All right, good, Tori. And then bringing your arms back to your side. So the arms, Lisa, go more over, so it's kind of right angle, and then to straighten the arms, and then again out to the side to right angle. So you're exercising the muscles of the back, the upper back. All right, good. And then from there, bring your arms back to your sides and come up. And we shall do that half the rock. So having the break standing up first, and your knees underneath the hips, and then lengthening forward through your hands. And you can lift your fingers to be just on the heels of the hands, taking the chin down on the break, and making sure that you're not overarching the low back, so you're not doing that. but keeping the lower back in neutral position. And then take it and bring down lower. If you can, and even lower if you still can. Yeah. So you're getting more and more openness in the upper back and also in the shoulders. So just see that the buttocks are right on your knees. And then lengthening forward. And so trying to bring your nose away from that brick, Michelle. Yeah, so just the chin, not the nose. And keep your floating ribs lifted, so don't overarch the lower back, so that the extension is in the upper back. That's the challenging part. And then taking the brick down lower if you can. Yeah, and then can you bring your chin down still? Nose away from the brick. Gripping the hips towards each other so you don't overarch the back. And then maybe again, taking the brick down even lower if you can on the flat side, if that's not too much. Good, well done. And then you can release. And we're going to do Iyengar in that way. So you're pitching out to the sides of the mat. Taking the toes under, lengthening back, pushing the mat, and then so trying to keep the sternum, the chest close to your thighs as you lift the buttocks. Slowly. Yeah. So you're still getting into the upper back. And then slowly straightening the legs, but trying to keep the chest close to your knees as you do that. So it's not that, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Okay. And after all that you have done, just see how that feels now. So pushing the sides of the mat. And so first bending your knees. Let me see you. I didn't see you bend your knees. So your shins are parallel to the floor. So your knees, lift your knees just barely off the floor. Just a little bit off the floor. And then move your sternum bone. No, don't straighten the legs yet. Keep them bent. And take your chest to the knees. Chest to knees. Lisa, yeah, as much as you can. Keep going. So that you're getting some openness in the upper back again. Yeah, I like that. And then trying to keep that gap as closed as you can as you slowly begin to straighten the legs, lifting the buttocks high, but all the time trying to keep the chest close to your thighs, close to your knees. Yeah, and then straighten the legs fully. Marianne, lift the buttocks high. Keep pushing the mat to lengthen the sides. See, just feel how that is now. All right, and then as you exhale, you can come down. Give yourself, if you have your 4 blocks, so you put 2 and 2. Yeah, and then you have the breaks in your hands. So you're going to practice dog with head up, like this. And also if you have your bolster on top. So it's quite a big height. So you could, if you have the 4 blocks, 2 and 2, and then bolster on top. Then you're going to take your hands to your bricks and you're going to come into dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana one more time. And then from there, taking your hips forward, and you're going to push against your support, rolling the shoulders back, and just stay here for a bit. And as I push my groins against the bolster, it's kind of, I want to move it forwards. Yeah, so it's helping me to bring the tailbone in. Then from there, you're going to slide back. And you're going to bend your knees, holding the ankles. And go and do Dhanurasana, which is kind of a resting way to do it. Okay. Let's try. Let's have fun with that. Okay, so take your hands to the heels of the hands to your bricks and come into dog pose, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen the sides of the body, lift the buttocks high. And remember where that spaciousness we were creating in the upper back, is it still there? And then from there, you can start to bring your tailbone forward. So you're coming forward into dog head up. But keep the legs firm. Bring your groins against that bolster. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up. And the action is as if you are pushing the bolster forward. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest more, Marianne. Roll the shoulders back, breathe. Spread the collarbones, make them smile. And then from there, just let yourself slide down the bolster until it's supporting the floating ribs. Yeah. And then one at a time, you're going to bend your knees, holding the ankles. And as you push your feet back, let the chest open. So if you've got enough height, and so if you feel like you're falling forward, toppling forward, then move your groins back more. So kind of, yeah, so it should be quite comfortable. Yeah, so the abdomen is lengthening, and then pushing the feet back, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up, and see if you can stay there for a bit. Push your feet back. Shin bones back to the wall behind you. And breathing. Spreading the collarbones. Enjoying it. Yeah, lean good. It looks comfy. If it doesn't make sense, then it's probably because you're too far forward, yeah? All right, and then you can release. Well done. So now you can take that away and just have a break, one break. And we're going to go into Adho Mukha Svanasana. And if the head goes to the break, good. If not, don't worry about it too much, but don't kind of strain to get there, because then you collapse. You want to lift, lengthen. And then from there, taking the hips forward, and you can roll in your feet now if you can, and then pushing the pubic bone against that break and moving it forward, rolling the shoulders back. And then again, and we're going to do this 3 times. Okay, go for it. All right, so lengthen, make sure that you do a real good dog head down, lengthen the sides of the body, and don't bend the elbows to get down to the break. Something else needs to happen. You've got to keep your elbows straight, lengthen and lift up. And then if you get that movement in the upper back, like we've been working on, so if the upper back is extending and moving in, then the head will go down. Not just by bending the elbows. No, that's not the way. From there, as the tail starts to go forward, from there start to come forward into dog head up, roll the shoulders back, and then can you push the break forward with the pubic bone, roll the shoulders back. Yeah, so there it has to be firm. Tailbone has to move into the body. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up. And as you exhale, go back. Roll the feet the other way. And we'll do it a few times. So one more time on your breath in, come forward, roll the shoulders back, tailbone in. Yeah, but don't go into your lumbar. Don't go into your lumbar. So initiating the movement from the tail. So not collapsing in your lower back as you go forward. Yeah, it has to come from the lumbar. Yeah, Marianne, good. Roll the shoulders back, lift the thighs up. The inner thighs should be lifting. And then come back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good. Bend your knees, come down. I'm realizing my plan is very exciting, but very long. The time. Anyway, we'll do what we can. You're going to lie on your front. And we're going to do half Bakasana, the frog pose, but only half first. So you're supporting yourself with your left forearm and then bending your right knee, catching hold of your foot. And this is a bit tricky, that movement of the arm. So you want to hold the foot from the inside and then wriggle the fingers over the toes as the elbow goes up and then pushing the foot down. Yeah. Yeah, if it's not, so just see how you do. So the mounts of the fingers have to be still on the foot. If you take them too far forward, then you lose the foot. You know, do you see that? Is the movement of the hand that is kind of a bit tricky. So let's try that. Right, so you're on the left forearm and then bending your right knee, catch hold of the foot from the inside, and then as the elbow goes up, then the hand rolls on the foot. Yeah, so it's that movement of the arm and then pushing the foot down with the hand. So the heel of the hand has to stay on the metatarsus of the foot. And then pushing the foot down. And you can push slightly with the foot up against the hand for a few seconds. And as you breathe out, then letting go of that pushing and see if you can bring it down a little more. You can do that a few times. Yeah, pushing the foot up against the hand for a few seconds. And then as you exhale, then can you bring it down a little more. All right, and then you can release. Let's try the other side. So be on your right forearm, bending your left knee, hold the foot from the inside, and then hover the fingers around, yeah, from the inside towards the outside, fingers over the foot, and then elbow up, and then pushing the foot down. It's very hard for me to see. If it's not happening, then just hold it like in Dhanurasana. But if you can get this, then you get more pressure of the hand because the heel of the hand is on the foot to push it down. So it makes more sense doing it like that. Pushing the foot up against the hand for a few seconds. And then as you breathe out, let go, relax, and take your foot down more. One more time. Push the foot up against the hand. Few seconds, and as you exhale, relax the thigh and bring it down. A bit of energy work there. And then you can release. Good. And now, so what if we try the full pose then? And it's easier to do it with your chin up on a brick already, so that you're already lifted. It's been a while since I worked on this myself. So chin is down on your brick, and then you could hold of one foot, you could hold of the other foot, pushing it down, and then try to bring your chin away from the brick. Right? Just for fun. Okay, so you're doing the same thing on each side now, with the chin on your brick, holding one foot, then the other foot from the inside, and then as the elbows go up, as the fingers go forward, pushing down on your feet, and as you do that, yeah, then can you lift your chin off the brick? So there is an important action in the pelvis that we are learning here for back bending poses. It's not that easy. Just give it your best go. So elbows go up. So it's not the same like in Dhanurasana. Yeah? The feet go down by the sides of the hips and the elbows are pointing up. All right, and then as you breathe out, you can release. Okay, well done. Well done, that was not easy. Now, same for a little bit more with the arm stretch in the thighs. So you're going to have a block against the wall. Yeah, we've done this before, but it's a while back. So you're going to have your right knee on the block first with the toes pointing up, and then your left foot comes forward. And so with the left leg is in the right angle, bringing yourself back. So I'm trying to bring the buttocks all the way back, and then stretching the arms up. Hips are level, and what you don't want to do is collapse the groin, because then you get pain in your back. So you've got to lift here in the front. Yeah. To make it easier, you take your knee slightly away from the wall. The more the knee goes back, the more difficult it's going to get, the more challenging. All right, so have your right knee on that block. So more kind of in the middle of the block, don't be all the way back, because that's more difficult. Toes are pointing up the wall, and then stepping your left foot forward, so left leg is in a right angle. And then coming upright. Yeah, and then gripping the hips in towards one another to get that lift from the lower abdomen. Yes, you're not collapsing forwards. If you are too far away from the wall, then you will probably have, it's going to be painful on the foot. Don't be too far away from the wall. And then stretch the arms up. If you are ready, stretch the arms up at the wall and trying to bring your hands all the way back. And then you're trying to bring your buttocks back to the wall as much as possible, back to the heel, touching the heel. Yeah, and lengthening up through the tips of the fingers. So can you bring your buttock then back to your foot? And you will really feel your thigh, and that's a good thing. All right, then you can release. Well done. Then the other side. Have the block underneath your left knee. So if it was hard, then take your knee slightly away from the wall. So more to the front of the block. And then toes up the wall. And then take your right foot forward. So right leg is in a right angle. As you press your right foot down, lifting. Gripping the hips towards each other to get the length through the front. And then stretching the arms up. And bring the backs of the hands to the wall all the way. Shoulders to the wall. So the back body needs to be at the wall. Yeah. Okay, yeah, good. And then lifting the groins up. Yeah, so you should be feeling it not in your low back, but in your thigh. All right, and then bring your arms back down. Something to play with if you find this tricky. You won't do it again just because we don't have a lot of time, but you could try again during the week. Get yourself a blanket underneath you so to have more padding under your knees. And if you remember, so this is the same kind of action. So you're gonna have your left foot forward, and then kneeling on that right knee, lifting the lower leg up, catching hold of the foot like it's the same action like when you were lying down. So you're holding it from the inside and then wriggling the fingers forward, elbow up, and then a couple of times forward. So coming forward with the hips, but the foot is going with you. Yes, don't leave the foot behind. A few times. Okay, let's try. So be on your right knee first, with your left foot forward in a right angle, and then lifting the right foot up. Keep your left hand on your left thigh, and as you exhale, see if you can come forward. As you inhale, you go back up, so let's try a few times. Yeah, if we could first catch the foot, that would be great. We should. And then so forward a few times. So hips forward, but don't leave the foot behind. As if the foot was attached to the leg. So again, you're stretching the thigh. And then, so can you lift the upper body, Michelle? Can you bring your hand to your thigh and then go forwards? A few times. Yeah, these are good. Then if you bring your front foot forward a bit more, you will be a bit more stable. Yeah. All right, and then change sides. Come down, take your left knee on that blanket. Taking your right foot forward well. And lifting your left foot up, catch hold of it from the inside. And see if you can wriggle the fingers over the front of the foot, elbow up, and as you breathe out, then going forward. As you breathe in, you go back up, and as you breathe out, forward. If you don't feel stable, then just step your front foot forward a little more. So you should be starting in a right angle at least, and then as you go forward, yeah, so it will be easier. All right, are we done? All right, good, well done. So just so that we move in a different plane of movement, so that we always move. Now we have 2 breaks. And we are going to do Trikonasana in this way. So taking your left foot on top of the 2 bricks and your right foot away, and have good distance between the feet. Yeah. Then turning your right toes out and the heel in, turning in the hip socket. We are going to do this together because you know what Trikonasana is. So just that the left foot is up higher on those 2 bricks. All right, and then stretch the arms out to the side from the center of the chest. Reaching, reaching, reaching through your right arm, reaching. So the whole side of the body is long. And then take your hand down to your ankle, stretch up through your top arm. And turn the abdomen up, turn the chest up. And keep really pushing the back heel against the wall. And you might find that you want to slide the front foot forward a little bit more. Yeah, so you're having a little wider stance for this. And just see how this feels after all the work we've done on your feet, on the legs. The chest is open. Okay, as you inhale, come up. And step down. Turn around to the second side. So having the right foot on your 2 bricks. Step your left foot away from the wall. Turning your toes out and the heel in. Press the back heel against the wall really well. Pulling up both knees, extend the arms from the center of the chest, stretch the arms from the center, and extend and lengthen, lengthen through your arm, left arm now. And take your hand down, so you will find that you can go down lower than normal with the hand. And then stretching up through your top arm. Make sure that your upper body is in line with your hips. Take your head back a bit more, lean slowly. Your head back so that your chest is open. And breathing soft, smooth breaths through the nose. And then as you inhale, coming back up to standing. Step down off your bricks. And like this, we are going to do Parshvanasana. So it's kind of the sequence is a bit different because we are finishing pretty much with the standing poses, but it's interesting to do things differently sometimes. So turn the front foot out again. This time, you're gonna be bending the front knee, making a right angle, taking your hand down in front of the foot, and you may find that even if normally you have a break, this time you take your fingers to the floor. Abdomen, chest turning top, shoulder back, and arm up and overhead. All right, so press the back heel against the wall. Make sure that you've got good distance between the feet so that the front leg is able to come into a right angle. Stretch the arms out from the center of the chest. And as you breathe out, take your right hand down in front of your right foot. So bend a bit more in the hips, most of you. Stretch up to your left arm. As you press the heel against the wall, rotate the upper arm towards the head and bring it overhead. And just see that you are in a straight line, so that the left side of the body is really making a straight line, as if you were standing in Tadasana. But the chest is looking up, not down. So you got to bend more in the hips, Michelle. And if you need something for your hand, then have something for your hand. All right, and as you inhale, coming back up to center. Step down off your bricks, turn around to the second side. All right, step your feet away from each other well. Turn your left toes out, heel in. And extend the arms from the center of the chest. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, go down, make a right angle. Take your hand down in front of the foot, stretch your top arm up and over. Press the back heel against the wall well. And can you see or feel the connection as you press the back heel? How does that affect the hip? Do you feel the length from the back heel all the way up? And then turning, it's easier than to turn. Squeezing the bottom buttock into the body, turn the abdomen up, the chest up, top shoulder back. So a bit wider with your feet, Marianne. The front foot needs to come forward a little bit more. Breathing. All right, then as you inhale, come back to center. Step your foot down from the bricks. And just Prasarita Padottanasana. Like that. So you've got your two bricks in front of you. Taking the feet wide apart on the back edge of the mat. And so lengthening first through the front body, then coming forward from the hips, taking the hands down on your bricks, shoulders back, lifting the chest up. Do it with me, you know this. You can move the bricks forward, lengthening forward, lifting the buttocks high. And then if you can, taking your hands down under your shoulders, and then back in line with your feet. Elbows back and the head down. You could have something under your head if it doesn't touch the floor. It is your resting pose. A bit wider with your feet, Michelle. Make it a bit easier for you. And lift the buttocks really high. Yeah, a bit better. And then as you breathe in, take your hands forward again, underneath the shoulders. Roll the shoulders back, look up with the chest. Take your hands to your hips and come back up to standing. Bend your knees, take your feet back together. And we are ready for Shavasana. Are you ready for Shavasana? But what I'm going to do first is just lying as you lie on your back, lifting your knees up, and just give yourself a little massage around your low back, just in case there's some tension there. And the other way, then you're going to bring your feet to the floor, arms to the sides, and Shavasana. If you want to have bolster under your knees, you can have that. If you need some blanket underneath your head, then please get blanket for underneath the head. And just making sure that you are in a straight line. Chin is down lower than the forehead, and you're on the very center of the back of the head. Tucking the shoulders under well. And then start to let go. Relax the face and all the facial muscles. Widening the space between the eyebrows. As if you want to smooth any frowning wrinkles there. Soften the eyelids, let the eyes move down away from the eyelids. as if you had eyes at the back of the head, looking out through the darkness of the skull. Relax the jaws, the tongue, the throat. And feel the contact you have between the back body and the floor. From head to feet and feet to head. Feel all the touch points between the back body and the floor. And the whole plane of the body on the floor all at once. As you exhale, soften the abdomen, let it fall down towards the back softly, like a parachute falling down towards the earth. As you exhale, soften around the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, the hands, and all the fingers. As you exhale, soften around the hips, the thighs, the kneecaps, the shins, the ankles, and the fronts of the feet, and the soles of the feet, and all the toes. Let the body become heavier and softer with each next breath out. Continue to let go, exploring the depth of your ability to let go. You always find that there is a little more that you can let go. And with the breath in, imagine a fine cleansing mist being sprayed all around you, cleansing you. Okay, with that I'm going to say goodbye. I hope you have a good night's sleep. Well done. That was not an easy class. Have a good week and I shall see you next week. Hope the sunshine stays with us for a while longer. Good night.